host of Wine Library TV, aka WLTV, and this is BBQ Central.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh, should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Welcome to the really big BBQ Central show. This is the show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. Broadcasting live from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. Widely considered to be the barbecue capital of the North Coast. By the way, I'm your program host, Greg Rippey. Happy to have you aboard here. You want to jump in? Love to have your phone calls. 216-777-2120. Again, 216-777-2120. Best time for phone call now, or in a little bit from now, top of the second hour, because we're loaded up with guests here otherwise. Here's how you get in touch with me through the email.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at bbqcentralshow.com or on the Twitter and Instagrams at BBQ Central Show.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you didn't get the newsletter. Coming up in about 12 minutes from now, he is a semi-recurring guest. Not to peel back the curtain here too much, because this project is in its very infancy, rudimentary stages, cobblings together of a guest Hall of Fame. Number of different segments that we're talking about here. Best recurring guests, best semi-recurring guests, best one-off guests. Compiling a list together, me and the embedded correspondents and some of the other folks in the inner circle of the BBQ Central show, those that have a very well-versed and steeped background within the show that can recall a lot of potentially useless data, as it were. And we're doing what will inevitably be some kind of Hall of Fame of guests. And this guy, right off the bat, was thrown out as semi-recurring guest that could be in that barbecue recurring guest Hall of Fame. Of course, you know I'm always hung up on any barbecue Hall of Fame because I love it. Sam Zion, a.k.a. Sam the Cooking Guy. He's in. So very much looking forward to talking with Sam, catching up with him. He's got a number of different projects going on. Of course, he's got the TV show. Most recently, he opened up a restaurant out in Southern California, Not Tacos. We talked about that a couple months ago, getting ready when he was maybe a week away from launch or 2 weeks away from launch, maybe a little longer than that. So now we'll do a quick peek in, see how real life is treating him, things going on with the restaurant and so forth. And we'll talk a little bit about Labor Day recipes. We'll talk about some cocktails if you're into that. We're also going to be talking about some of the big stuff. Okay? So I just want you to be aware things are going to be happening wild and crazy. Then, so that's Sam. All first hour. No Meathead this month. We may or may not discuss that, but thoughts and good well wishes going out to Meathead. Not for him specifically, but for somebody in his family. And then we'll move into the second hour where we will be joined by somebody who is, and a term I love to say, shaking the very foundations of the barbecue and grilling culture, notably the slow and low barbecue culture. I don't know if you've been keeping track about new items that are hitting the market these days, cookers especially. I do, and I was forwarded this by a Centralite, a loyal Centralite. He said, hey, have you checked out the K-Rigg smoker yet? Gave me a link. Right on. K-Rigg pressure smoker. What? K-Rigg pressure smoker. So I did a little reconnaissance, did a little due diligence, as I like to use that term with my youngest daughter. Find out this guy named Kyle Riggen is the guy that I want to get in contact with. Lo and behold, handful of weeks later, we got Kyle on. We're going to be talking about the K-Rigg pressure barbecue pit cooker. It's a lot to say. And I have him for the balance of the second hour. So definitely first interview segment, potentially into the second, depending on if you have questions or comments. Don't forget, you can hit me on the email. You can call in 216-777-2120. All right. Let's take a phone call. Why not? I told you to hit me up in that first. In the open, you did it. Let's go to, it says, here we go. Let's go to a second week of stories from the smokers. Hello.
No, I think you got something wrong with your phones again.
Oh.
Greg, this is Stover.
Stover! Sorry, my bad.
I did hear that segment last week, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to find stories from the smokers on iTunes, but I think like your show, they disappeared.
Yeah, it was kind of a tragedy for
Hopefully
my
they'll come
show
back.
specifically. That was quite a tragedy for me.
It sounds like a great show and a very knowledgeable host. You can trust what Yoni has to say. I mean, Yoni.
Who? Okay.
Hey,
All right, so what's
I
going
have a
on?
real story to tell you.
Go ahead,
Greg,
Stover.
that happened today. This is going to sound made up.
Is this
I
breaking
have
news?
a 7-pound dog. It's only news to me, but you know I like to announce my life events on your show.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a 7-pound dog.
All right.
She is now 8 pounds because she got into my pork butt.
What?
I'm not joking. We took her to the dog doctor today.
Out of
She
fear
gained
of
almost
life?
a pound.
You think she
turned
overate?
into a ball. Oh my God.
7-pound
I
dog.
took-
I mean, come on. What are we talking? You know, your fiance was the ruler of that. No man would ever buy a 7-pound dog. Let's be honest.
She came with the relationship, and I love her.
Yeah.
I was horrified. I want to warn people. You think your little dog won't do that?
You were horrified that
Something
she.
same size as her.
You were horrified that she pulled through the pork eating experience. That's what you're saying.
She pulled right through that
Yeah.
pork eating experience.
Damn it! I mean,
She's a
thank
little pig,
goodness.
though.
Wow. What kind of a dog is it?
It's a Chihuahua.
Oh, Chihuahua.
I Chihuahua.
All right. So here's what
Stole
you're
her
saying.
from Texas and brought her up to Portland.
You at some point did a pork butt. Did you do a pork butt cook today?
No, this was an old one I was getting rid of that I didn't finish
Oh,
because
no.
I eat. There's not enough people that like barbecue here. I need people to eat what I'm making.
All right. So it was left out, or did the dog root into trouble?
I had stepped outside and I was about to take the trash out.
Wow.
And it didn't even take long to come back in and find it in disarray.
Well, I don't want to be the
And,
bearer
my
of bad
dog
tidings.
waddling.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad tidings, Stover, but this doesn't bode well for your upcoming parental responsibilities. You're just gonna leave that.
Are we
kid-
announcing?
You just. Oh,
Are-
what? We're not
Let's announce
announcing
on your
anything.
show. Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
right.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna be having kids, this doesn't bode well for you and Cassidy's parental. Well, mostly just you. I would imagine Cassidy would have been a little more forward thinking, but you can't. If you ever had a kid, you couldn't just leave it rolling around on the floor and step out for a second, right? I hope you know that.
And you know my kid would get right into that pork butt.
Yeah, the kid would just roll right over to that Traeger Pro 34, and there you go. Craziness would ensue.
Well, I can tell you that my impending child will have $564 less in their college.
Wow.
Oh, and 5 cents.
And 5 cents.
I'm looking at the bill right now.
Yeah, great. Well, it's a business write-off.
You
though,
know,
right?
a doctor charges you $60 to shove a syringe in your dog and inject her full of fluid.
Oh, you don't have to get me started on vets. I mean, It's highway robbery in its most legal form for whatever reason, but, you know, what can I tell you? Here's a story. 2 cats went to a veterinarian. $300 later, I got the bill. Yikes. For what? Cats.
Well, I wanted to warn everyone, don't leave your food out, people.
All right.
Learn from me.
Food safety and pet safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and I almost killed my dog.
Yeah, see? I'm glad we only did 2 birds instead of 2 birds and a dog. Well, hopefully the dog's on the mend, and I appreciate you sharing this PSA with us, Stover.
Hey, would you tell people that I'm no longer on the Best Barbecue Show?
I think you just did. All right.
I've been saying my new favorite question is, where's Stover?
Where is Stover? He's in the Pacific Northwest, right?
That's right.
All right.
Happy.
All right, check this out. Go talk to John. Make him happy. I got real business to attend to. Public service announcement, don't leave pork butt out if you have a dog. I'm not going to say it's specifically related to Chihuahuas because I believe dogs would eat anything. Watch out. Safety first. Hey, folks, let me talk to you quickly about Southside Market and Barbecue. Attention, anyone who loves sausage and barbecue. Established in 1882, Southside Market is the oldest barbecue joint in Texas and has been owned and operated by the same family for 3 generations. Famous for the original beef sausage, coarse ground and a natural pork casing, the authentic Central Texas barbecue. Absolutely. All meats included, the prime briskets are slow smoked for many hours over real Texas post oak wood. They ship nationwide via the online store, southsidemarket.com. They also ship fresh and smoked sausage nationwide. Shipping customers can choose to order now and ship later, include custom gift notes, and mail multiple items to multiple addresses without additional shipping charges. How nice is that? All shipped items are vacuum sealed to ensure freshness and ease of preparation by the customer. Shipped in dry ice to ensure complete freshness upon arrival. All meats are processed on their on-site USDA inspected facility. How many places have that? Few. On-site markets for fresh and smoked products. Custom orders welcome. There's 2 restaurants for you to try. Of course, Elgin, since 1882, and Bastrop, Texas, since 2014. Grocery distribution through Texas and many surrounding state. Here's the kicker. 10% off coupon for orders online. Use promo code BBQ Central Show. One word, lowercase, BBQ Central. Sorry, not show. BBQ Central. BBQ Central at southsidemarket.com. Get 10% off your entire online order. If you're interested in having their products be part of your product line, you can do private labeling. They're certainly open to that. Or they can custom make stuff. If you have a recipe, you want to do research and development, or both sides of that, they can do it. Hit them up again, southsidemarket.com. Coupon code for 10% off your online purchase, BBQ Central. One word, lowercase, BBQ Central. Sam the Cooking Guy coming up right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Butcher's Barbecue. That's right, makers of award-winning injections, marinades, rubs, seasonings, barbecue sauces, grilling oils. All of Butcher Barbecue products have been tested on the competition circuit as well as in backyards worldwide. Be the pitmaster of your neighborhood. Visit butcherbbq.com and stock up now. Always trust your butcher. My first guest tonight, multiple-time author, multiple-time Emmy award-winning TV show host. You see him leading cooking classes, potentially going to be a guest judge coming up this weekend. Well, no, sorry, not guest judge. And we'll get into it. Don't worry. But tonight we're talking about a number of topics, not the least of which is getting an update on the new restaurant venture, Not Tacos. Let's go ahead and race to the Traeger Grills hotline and welcome friend of the show, Sam, the cooking guy. Sam, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. Hold on. I can fix my headphones. Wait. Hold on.
That's all right. It's not like we've been planning this for weeks and weeks on end. No problem. We didn't spend 20 minutes doing sound check last night for nothing, right?
All right. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. How come I can't see you?
Well, it's,
Like
as I was saying, hold on, let me see.
Is that my problem?
I don't know. Does this work? Is that better?
No.
No?
I mean, I see you. It doesn't matter. I don't need to see you.
All right.
You can see, as long as you can see me.
Yeah, I can see you perfectly. Remember when I was talking about the whole Skype upgrade, working with my video thing and, whatever. So got to wait for the next update. Whatever.
Damn technology. Am I right?
Technology is the best until it doesn't work, and then it's the worst.
God. You know what I saw the other day? I saw a payphone.
A real payphone?
A real payphone. And not only did I laugh because I had no use for it.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, it was amusing that there's still a few out there. But the idea of picking up a disgusting payphone really horrified me.
Yeah, so you never really knew, or did you always know that was kind of a germy, icky situation, but when you're forced into it, you put it out of your mind?
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I'm not a germaphobe, but something came to mind when I saw that horrified me.
What?
But you know what? Look, I went to the supermarket today. I used a cart. I did not get one of those little wipes that they offer and clean off the handles and all the way. I just don't do that. So I don't know why that creeped me out, a payphone, but who knows?
I'm trying to draw some type of supportive correlation here, but I can't.
You don't need to.
If you're not using the baby wipe across the handle on what I would imagine would be at least 1 million times more people putting their hands on than that payphone.
I know.
No help.
That's the thing. That's why there's a disconnect.
Yeah. That's all right. Sam the Cooking Guy joining us here on the show. TheCookingGuy.com, his website. The Cooking Guy on a bunch of social media handles as well. So
nice to be here.
Last time you were on, Sam, you were just at the precipice of opening Not Tacos. Now we've broken the maiden. We've broke the maiden. And we've
been open for a month.
Open for a month. So 4 weeks in. 4 weeks in.
Go ahead.
How's business? How's it trending, both from a monetary success side and a social side?
Okay. Both doing well.
Yeah.
Selling many more tacos than we imagined.
So I'm here's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So you're game planning the whole concept of the taco. They're not tacos, but they're not your traditional tacos.
Correct.
What kind of a number is thrown out from a forecasting standpoint where you're like, hey,
I don't really like talking about that. Why do you got to ask me that question?
I have to ask the hard hitting question. So it's like, okay.
Well, how much did you make last year?
I made $147,000. That's why I drive a Mercedes-Benz to work and you drive a Hyundai. Can you name that movie?
No. What movie is that?
Glenn Ross. It's the best.
Oh, my God. Wait, coffee is for closure.
Yes. I can recite the whole 9-minute thing.
By the way, for anybody that hasn't seen the movie, let me say right now, get it.
Yeah.
Drink scotch during it or bourbon or something brown.
Yeah.
The lights down low. It is not a Sunday morning sunshine outside movie.
No.
If you can wait till fall when it's raining, now you got yourself perfect Glenn Ross watching weather.
Yeah. It's as a sales professional, I watch the Alec Baldwin speech 3 or 4 times a week.
He is unbelievable. Every actor in that movie is absolutely the best.
Oh.
And it is not, ladies and gentlemen, it is not uplifting in the least.
No.
So don't expect a fun, joyous, honey, come on, let's watch this movie. Greg and Sam said it's excellent. It is excellent.
Yeah.
But it is not a honey, come watch this movie.
No, you can tell because first place is a Cadillac. Second place is steak knives. Third place is you're fired. It's not like try again next month. It's you're fired. Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it because you are going out.
If you've ever been in sales, ever.
Yeah, got to see it.
This is something you have to see.
Yep.
And if you've never been in sales, never.
This will keep you out.
This is this is something you must see. Yeah, it's that good.
All right, so let's get back to the question at hand here.
So I'm not going to tell you numbers. I'm just going to say.
Wait, but here was the question.
Okay, go ahead.
How many, like, do you say, okay, at the 400th taco of the day, we break even and everything is, then we start to turn a profit, or is it 600 or is it 1,000? What's that
There
number?
is a number, an average number of tacos per day.
Right.
That we projected success at.
All right.
Making money, everybody happy.
Yeah.
Nobody getting rich. You know, to get rich in the restaurant business, you got to have, you know, a lot of them.
Yeah. And they got to be successful.
But everybody going home at the end of the day pretty happy.
Yeah.
Like we've been successful. So we're doing a bunch more than that. It's funny, I
don't understand why you won't tell me what that number is. Like, who cares?
Why does it matter? Who cares? You're right. I care. I don't know. I've just not. I've been asked 3 times now, and I've said no every time.
Well, so I just want to give you some insight into my thinking.
Go ahead.
At home, I could eat, on a good day, 5 tacos. Loaded up, you know, not skimping, like loaded up, lettuce, tomato, cheese, no onion, the meat, all that stuff, the cajota cheese. I can eat 5. So
wait, what was that cheese?
Cajota.
There.
It's part German, part Mexican. So I'm thinking to myself, well, in a scaled up restaurant, could it be hundreds, or does it have to be thousands? I guess that's what I'm thinking of. Like, I just project out wild.
It's a lot of tacos, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not going to get that.
You know, look, I don't know why I have to share that information.
I'm not asking you to share the revenue stream or what the margin is. It's just a number.
Hey, come on. Does it matter? I mean, you do simple math. You figure it out.
All right.
You're not stupid. You deal with big numbers.
Oh, I'm pretty stupid.
No, you're not.
Thank you for saying that.
No, you're much smarter than I am. Look, let me just say this.
Right, go ahead.
Let me say this about that.
Yeah.
So we imagine this number that would be here.
Yeah.
We sold this many tacos, we'd be happy. We're selling many more tacos than that. Almost twice as many tacos as that.
Really?
Yeah. So we're very pleased. What we didn't know was what, you know, like the most popular ones would be.
Yeah.
That you could never tell. I don't think we could tell that in advance because, you know, all we have to go on is the tastings that we did. There was 7, 8 of us. And we all had, you know, what's your favorite? What's your favorite? And as we were tasting, and we tasted in batches of about 8 or 9 with like 3 sessions. And, you know, somebody would go, John would go, this is my favorite. And then the next time there'd be a different batch of 8 or 9, and he'd go, this is my favorite. I go, well, which one is your favorite? He goes, this one. And then like 3 tacos later, he goes, no, this is my favorite. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But, you know, your group that you're surrounded with, there are no yes people because we're all invested in this.
Yeah.
But is that really the way it's going to go? Or is everybody just stand around going, holy F, this shit's great.
Yeah.
We can't make a mistake. I've said it many times before. People go into the restaurant business with the wrong idea in mind. People will sit in a restaurant, eat lasagna. The lasagna sucks. The husband may say to the wife, this lasagna is horrible. This restaurant is packed. Your lasagna is 10 times better than this. Imagine if we had a restaurant with your lasagna.
Yeah.
Let's open a restaurant. You know, Nemo's that closed a month ago is available. And it's been 10 things in the past 5 years.
Right.
It's close to our house. I can do my regular job and that. You do the kitchen. I'll run the front of house and we'll be successful.
Bam.
And then they go in and they're done in 2 months because they haven't planned on the money. They've changed the menu 3 times because things didn't sell the way they thought they would. So you don't know going in. And apart from there being a number that we hoped we would hit per day of tacos,
yeah.
I didn't really give too much consideration to what would be the most popular, or if really even if people would like them. And it wasn't an arrogance thing. There were too many other things, honestly, to worry about than whether people would like the food, which is maybe a stupid way to do this.
I mean, don't people have to like the food most?
Yes, they do. But for me, it was, as we got closer, I knew the food was good. But in that lasagna case,
right.
They know their food is good, and they go belly up. So I was convinced the food was good. I thought we'd be putting out a great product. My partners believed the same, maybe even more strongly than I. But as we got closer, for me, it became, holy shit, now it's not me making 8 tacos for friends. Now it's cooks that are being trained to make hundreds of tacos my way.
Mm-hmm.
Will they taste right? Will they be cooked right? Will they look right on the plate? And that's not an insignificant thing, man. It is not an insignificant thing. And fortunately, one of our group has opened 40 plus restaurants, and he's got his shit down. I mean, you want to surround yourself with people that really know what the hell they're doing.
Yep.
Because we've had this conversation before. I did not know how to run a restaurant. In fact, did not want to run a restaurant. And really, it's not tacos by Sam the cooking guy, but I have partners that are handling running the restaurant part.
Yeah.
And I'm handling the food part, the personality, the branding, the marketing, the advertising. And marketing in the sense that I'm the face of it. There's a marketing person, Katie Barton, that does amazing things for us. There's nothing she can't do. And she turns, my ideas, her ideas into reality. And it's fantastic. It takes a village, man. It really does.
So as you're doing all this planning and now you're in it, and you're in, let's say, at week 2, is there a big unforeseen obstacle that comes up? Or because you have that experienced group with you, they were really able to plan for any pitfalls that might come up because of their experience before?
Here's the unforeseen obstacle was not week 2. It was right away, and it was not being prepped properly enough for the volume we ended up doing. That was the problem. I'd come in, I'm not there 8 hours or 10 or 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'd come in and I'd hear somebody go, 86 the Sunday dinner. And I'm looking around, I go, why are we 86ing the Sunday dinner? We don't have any stuffing.
Ooh.
We didn't make enough stuffing? No, I mean, we'll make some now, but it's going to take, like a while. I go, how do we not? That was the thing. We were getting railroaded by certain things. The Korean short rib taco is our #1 seller by probably 40%.
Wow.
40% over the next one, which is the Kelly shrimp taco. It's another problem, by the way. But we didn't see that coming. And the short rib it's a process. We're not buying cooked fucking, marinated short rib. We're buying short rib. We're trimming it.
Raw?
Raw.
Yeah.
Trimming the extra fat, freezing it in lengths about this long and about 2.5, 3 inches square, that long. Wrapping it in saran and freezing it.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's frozen, we unwrap it. We put it on the slicer and we slice it thin. And then we put our marinade that we make on it. We marinate it for at least, 4 hours, and then when it gets cooked, the raw short rib goes on the flat top. It cooks literally in about a minute and a half. And it's amazing. It's fantastic. But we were constantly running out.
Wow.
No short rib. We had problems with that. Salmon, no, 86 the salmon. I go, fuck the 86. What is going on? And it took us 2.5 weeks to really get our prep game strong and reliable.
So can you over prepare? In other words, There's probably a pretty good feeling that, at least for those first handful of days, because who you are and the following that you have, you're probably going to start out all right. So is there a running of or a hedging of how much do we want to run with initially, because it might start to peel back after week 2 or 3 and become whatever normal would be?
Frankly, we were just caught with our pants down.
Yeah.
Based on those initial numbers that somebody else came up with. I didn't come up with that.
As far as what would be a favorite and what wouldn't?
And how many of them we'd sell.
Yeah.
But if we're selling almost twice as many as we imagined, that was the position we were in day one. And we never knew what would be the favorite. We never knew Korean short rib would sell almost twice as many as its next closest competitor.
Can you place any validity in the fact that you hear short rib and somehow people are just turning that into what is really the most popular way to cook right now, which is barbecue, and you're riding that wave at this point?
Yeah, you know what? So here's, the top 2 tacos are the shrimp, called Kelly shrimp, named after my wife, because if I didn't, I'd probably be sleeping on the couch.
It's pretty hot, too.
Thank you. Yeah. And the short rib. And one of my partners says this. He goes, look, in the beginning, he said this, and now it seems to just be happening. But he goes, I think they are number 1 and 2 respectively, because they're known things. People love short rib, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing a ridiculously large part of your audience loves short rib, because who doesn't love a short rib, right? Mashed potatoes, however you're going to do them.
Yep.
They're glazed, they're whatever. It's great meat. It's delicious, right? It's unctuous, I'd like to say. So it's a known thing. Shrimp in a taco is a known thing. We don't do a Mexican version of it, but it's still, people get it. So here's the rest of the menu. A meatloaf taco, curried egg salad, Sunday chicken dinner, which is, stuffing and chicken and this really delicious sage gravy that we make from scratch. Thank you very much. Pastrami. And I think his thinking was, people are looking at this and going, pastrami, what the F is that? How is that a taco? How is meatloaf a freaking taco?
It's not a taco.
It's not. Thank you. Shrimp, I understand, and short rib, I understand.
Yeah.
I'll take one of each of those, please. But whatever his thinking was, however it went, is now blown out the window, because those are still number 1 and 2.
Sam,
and now we're repeat customers, so it's not like just new people are coming in.
Do you wish that you would have had your own space at this point, or is the hall scene still?
I think the hall scene. So for those that don't know, there's 6 restaurants in this food hall. It's not that big. I don't know. It's maybe 5,500 square feet. Mm-hmm. I think it was a really good way to test the concept. It would have been too scary going full restaurant, Greg. Which I love the idea of. I love the idea of flushing out the menu to have things that complement the tacos. Sides, salads, booze, that kind of thing. So that may come.
Is that like in discussion now, or was that always a part of, if this works, let's contingency plan?
I think that the thinking always was, if this works, there could be more, or should be more if it works. I don't know that we said what it would look like. For me, it looks a little more a restaurant-like than this. Like, we're dealing in literally, our whole cooking area is about 230 square feet.
Oh, wow.
That's 10 by 23.
Yeah.
It's not very big. It's tiny. And our tacos, while there's a few components to each, but it just takes a bit. The pastrami taco has this amazing pastrami that goes on the flat top. It cooks. You flip it. I mean, really, it cooks in about a minute.
Yeah.
You flip it. You put a piece of Munster cheese on it. You hit the edges with a little water from a squeeze bottle. You put a lid on it. It melts the cheese beautifully. You take a cooked tortilla. You put this mustard horseradish on it. So that's one component.
Yep.
Then you put this coleslaw, peppery celery seed coleslaw on it. Then the pastrami and the cheese on top of that. Then it gets crispy onions. Then it gets dill pickles. And so, you know, one of my partners is fond of saying, look, we have 11 tacos, but we have, 58 things that go into those. But those 58 things are not single 58 items. You know, the Korean short rib has sour cream on the tortilla and this gochujang sauce that we made. It's a Korean pepper paste mixed with 3 other things.
Yep.
So there's 4 things in the sauce and the sour cream. Those go on the bottom. Then green onion and jicama. Then the short rib that's been marinated in 7 things. And then crispy panko, which is not regular panko. We make it crispy. And then green onions. So, I mean, cut green onions. So there's a lot of shit that goes into our taco.
It's not Taco Bell fast.
It is not Taco Bell, no.
Stuff. Slap it in, slap it around, wrap it, and away you go.
No, it is not. It's a lot of work. And we really like it. But so, the idea that we would have more space and be able to flesh out the concept a little more and start to do other things, you can't do I don't think you could do just a whole restaurant with only tacos. That's why you need salads to go with it and sides to go with it and stuff like that. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good. We have great problems of having to figure out, how to handle the stuff. And now tomorrow, at the end of our first month, we're introducing our first limited time offer taco.
Like a seasonal kind of thing? Or just limited
this
time?
One the idea was originally limited time offer in that it would be on the menu for 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We think it needs 4 weeks to really get some traction and give us a sense of how popular it is and whether it comes back. And it's the food hall is in San Diego's Little Italy, a really significant Little Italy in this country. One of the most significant, really active association. And anyway, it's great. So I've coined the phrase, is the official taco of Little Italy. It's an eggplant Parmesan taco that we will be debuting tomorrow night. So look, we put shit in a taco that maybe other people don't, but why can't you? This was supposed to be a chicken parm taco.
Yeah.
And our group came over here, and I made a chicken parm taco. We all stood around and went, holy shit, it's freaking delicious. And I said, okay, so look, just keep that in your mind. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm a fan of an eggplant Parmesan, but I do a grilled eggplant parm.
All right.
So for your listeners or your viewers, we'll call them
fans.
You're fans.
Thanks.
I get my grill going. I put a 1/2-inch slice of eggplant on it. Right out of the globe eggplant slice.
Yep.
Little olive oil, salt, pepper goes in. When it starts getting pretty soft, I flip it. I put a piece of mozzarella cheese on it. And then I take a similar size slice of fresh tomato, little olive oil on that and salt and pepper, and throw that on the grill beside it. Now that becomes the sauce.
Yep.
And then, you got the melty cheese on top of the eggplant. You've got a bun. Focaccia bun would be great, or something like that. Ciabatta roll.
Yeah.
Slice it, olive oil, face down on the grill. It gets the marks on it. It gets the color. And then I take mayo and I mix it with a bunch of very finely chopped basil and a little garlic, finely minced garlic, and some salt and pepper. Mix that together. You got the bun. This garlic basil aioli goes on. Then the eggplant with the melty cheese, the tomato slice, some shredded Parmesan, and you're away to the races.
What the
It's really
hell?
good. I don't know if I What?
Can we as a culture stop saying melty? It's the worst effing word ever. Like, what the? It's melting. It's melted. Or that's it. It's not melty. What the hell is melty? What does that mean? It's the worst.
Sure, Greg. I think it means all those same damn things.
Oh.
Hold on. Hey, Siri.
Oh, my God. Let's go to the authority.
Spell melty.
Melty.
No, she spelled milty. Shut up.
I found this.
Hey, Siri.
Website.
Stop it. Spell melty. I hate her guts.
Got it.
We're fighting. We had an argument on the way home. So.
Oh, yeah. She'll win.
She's not on my side right now.
All right.
I don't know what's wrong with melty.
It's the worst.
Stop it.
It's a BS made up word.
Oh, I can't believe.
Here's what I'm saying. I say everything you just said. Eggplant with a piece of melted Parmesan cheese.
Go ahead.
Blah, blah, blah. There you go. That's what I just said.
Okay, melted past tense.
But it's already melted. It's already melted.
Melty tells me it's still dripping.
Hot melted.
Do a 10 listener poll.
Melted cheese.
A 10 fan poll. Ask people to go comment right now.
Okay, here we go.
Is melty a word? And look, they're all on your side, so I know how this is going to go.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to say, do you really want me to do this, or do you know that you're
Go ahead. I know how it's going to go.
All right, go ahead. So tell me melty is a word, yes or no? And Sam, let me hold you over for one more. We'll get into a little bit more, not taco, and then we'll talk about hot dogs and steak cooking, if you don't mind.
Let's help your people make something different.
My people. All right. So
as if the grilled eggplant parm
is
not different enough that they should be making this weekend. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Melty cheese and all. All right. Stand by.
It rolls off the tongue.
I know. Oh, it rolls off the tongue. All right. All right. Stand by, and we'll be back with more Sam the Cooking Guy here. Let me talk to you quickly about Traeger. We love Traeger grills here. Behind every great meal is a great grill, but not just any grill. The Traeger grill and Timberline's Traeger's most advanced grill yet. It allows you to grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and barbecue like a pro, no matter what your level. Thanks to the incredible wood-fired taste. Seriously, you don't know flavor till you're cooking with it. Traeger grills use all-natural hardwood pellets, so you're literally cooking with flavor. From low and slow smoked ribs to a seared steak, even a baked apple pie, Traeger's can handle it all. And the Traeger Timberline makes it even easier thanks to the Wi-Fi capability. You can check on cooks, kick up temperatures, and set custom cook cycles anytime, anywhere, all right from your phone on the Traeger Grill app. In fact, if I had one on, I could go check the temperature of my brisket right now. You can find one at your local Traeger dealer or check them out online, TraegerGrills.com. If you want to fire up that barbecue game and step it up a level, Traeger shop classes are going coast to coast, bringing barbecue knowledge and amazing wood-fired food everywhere they go. Taught by professional pit masters, you'll take home the skills you need to reach barbecue glory. Find a shop class near you and sign up today at TraegerGrills.com/shopclass. That's TraegerGrills.com/shopclass. We are back with Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, we are back. This portion of the show being brought to you by CookingPellets.com. That's right, your number one source for quality wood pellets. For all your pellet-driven cookers, visit CookingPellets.com for more information or to purchase. You can also buy them at Amazon.com. Don't forget they have a free app for you to download, so when you get great shipping rates, Cooking Pellets app will alert you. And again, that's Amazon.com or right from the website, CookingPellets.com. Sam, thanks for hanging with me.
Greg, I'm here for you, my friend.
All right, so I want to talk to you about...
Can I just tell your fans one thing?
Yeah.
Okay, two things. I was thinking about this before. I don't know that they understand this, but you run your own board.
Yeah.
All of the tricks and toys and things that are going on that they see, you do yourself. There's nobody else doing that.
Correct.
And you might giggle, but it to me, it's very impressive.
Thank you.
And they need to understand that I call in at about 6:13 or 6:14 you answer my Skype call and place it on hold while you're talking and doing other things.
Right.
And then you join me into the show at the appropriate time, which, by the way, is always exactly on time.
Thank you.
It's quite a feat that you pull off there.
It started out so very simply. One monitor, one board, one microphone, no cameras at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And then over time, it just, so obviously nobody can see it, but I'm looking at a monitor to my left, a monitor straight ahead, a monitor off to the right where I can see you, and then I have a fourth monitor, which is my touch control board. And then I also have an iPad with sound effects, things of this nature.
I think, you know what?
It's a whole deal.
I think you should do a little behind the scenes one day, and it might require shooting a little footage that you can then roll and talk over while it's playing for people. But I know people are always fascinated in behind the scenes anything. So I think they'd like to see that. But I said I wanted to mention two things. One is how impressed I am with the way you run your show.
Thank you.
But two is, and I don't know, and I'm pretty certain none of your fans know this.
Yeah.
We've never met
in person.
And the crazy thing is, we never met in person. I consider you one of my very good friends.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Back at you, buddy.
Like, there you go. I was waiting for that. Thanks.
No doubt.
I'm very insecure.
Well, that's a good way to lead it in and get that positive reinforcement.
But it's interesting. It's funny. I've got friends from, growing up that I don't see very often because they're in different cities. And yet we're still friends. You don't have to see somebody to have a connection, a bond.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Sam Sam the cooking guy joining me here. All right, so let's talk steak just for a couple minutes. I know you had steak last night.
You saw that picture.
Actually, you had this steak last night for dinner. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's the steak you had for
picture
dinner.
You're showing.
You got the corn, you got the steak all nicely sliced and fanned out. There's a salad up there, top right. I mean, it looks super good.
Yes, there is.
Very, very good. So I have on the show for the last month or so, I have been putting in my own research on what I've been calling the purposeful undercooking of steaks across America, potentially across the world, but I have no interest in going anywhere else, but right here in America. And there's some great steakhouses here.
Okay, Howard Stern.
Yeah,
keep going.
But I really don't. So I've found, and I'm not the only one that has thought this. I've actually read a few different articles, I think from Eater or some reputable food online landscape, that has also supported what I've long thought to be the case, that you would go to a restaurant, you'll order, let's say, medium, and inevitably that steak is really going to come out medium rare at best. And my assertion for that is they're cooking it under solely for the purpose of not having to throw it away, because if you
I get what you're saying.
If you take the steak over,
if they screw it up.
If you take the steak over, you can't bring it back. If you serve it under, so I think they're working two angles here. I think they put that steak down undercooked in front of you, and they're hoping that they know there's a percentage of people that are going to cut into it. They're going to see it's underdone and go, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not confrontational. I'm just going to eat it and I'll be done with it. And they win. Or the second version is going to be somebody's going to cut into it and go, put it back on for another 2-3 minutes and bring it up to temperature. They don't have to throw it away. Take it over, you're done with it. You got to throw it away, and potentially you're cooking a whole different one, or you're crediting back off the bill. So I think restaurants are cooking under it, but I wanted to see how much are they undercooking. So I've tasked my embedded correspondents. I got one in Texas, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, plus myself. We've been going around to various levels of steakhouses and ordering steaks. We initially requested 130. Okay?
Wait a second. You're telling me
this is a research.
When the server says,
how would you
like your steak? You say 130 degrees.
I would like you to cook. Can you cook that steak to 130 degrees internal temperature?
And he doesn't hit you over the head with a shoe?
Why should he?
Well, I don't know, because they're in a world of rare, medium, well.
Yeah.
Fucked up. I mean.
Okay, so if they go, no.
Never heard of anybody doing that in my life.
No, we can't do that. I say, okay, cook it to medium, because we all know according to Meathead's food chart, medium is 135 degrees. Actually, it might be a little higher. So we've been, so here's what we want. We want, so we say 130 degrees or medium. And then we want to see, and then we take our thermopens to the restaurant.
Oh, you can't do that.
This is research, pal.
Go ahead. I don't think it's solid research.
Okay. I mean, it's 100% solid research. We're asking for something.
Okay.
And then we are scientifically checking it.
But when the thing comes off the stove or the broiler, however the grill, however that restaurant is cooking, and it rests for a couple minutes.
Okay.
Are you there stabbing your thermopen?
I'm allotting for 5 degrees of carry. If that steak hits my table at 135, you have hit the market. You have hit the mark. I'm allotting for carryover, all that stuff. I'm telling you.
I would love to have a private conversation with all of your fans and see how many think you're insane. That and the melty thing.
Why? Because I'm exposing how bad restaurants are cooking steaks or how long they're really holding.
Well, honestly, I tell you, if Kelly and I went out for dinner Saturday night, server said, I go, I'd like the bone-in ribeye, please. And they go, sure, sir. Certainly, sir. How would you like that? I go, I'd like it 129.5 degrees.
Now you're being ridiculous.
She would kick me in the nuts.
You're being ridiculous. I think if you went to a steak restaurant, if you went to George's, Jorge's, Javier's, right?
Go ahead.
You go to Javier's. You probably couldn't even get
any Mexican-inspired name because this is San Diego.
By the way, I happen to know Javier's is like one of the most prolific restaurants in San Diego, and you know I'm right. Validate it. You know it. Could you get into Javier's? No.
Just continue.
Right.
Please continue.
So go to Javier's. Order your steak, bone and ribeye. And
go ahead.
When they say, how would you like that cooked? Say, is it possible for you to take that to 130 degrees internal? And if they look at you like a kook, then you say,
you're
no.
screwed.
Then you say, okay, could you do it medium? Do medium.
Okay, let me ask you.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, great God of the thermopen. Which, by the way, everybody in your audience should have a thermopen.
Well, they got at least one.
At least one. It is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So how many times have you done it? Just answer. How many times have you requested steak at a particular temperature? Just answer that first.
I've done it one time so far. I'm going to do it another time over the weekend.
And did they say yes or did they give you the
No, she said yes.
Okay, and what happened?
They served me 135 degrees. They hit it. They hit it. I told the lady I want 130 degrees internal temperature. She said, okay. And I said, in full disclosure, I'm also going to be producing a thermometer. I'm going to temp that thing. I'm doing some research.
Oh,
blah, blah, blah.
See, now look at.
What?
Oh, now they did extra work on your steak in the back.
Why?
Because you told them you had a thermopen.
Yeah?
Well, now they went back.
So
they went, all right.
Why does it have to change?
The nerd at table 7 is doing some crazy shit. And now we've got to get your chef. Chef, do you have your thermopen? Yes. All right. Get it out.
Yeah, heaven forbid I pay good money for a steak and you should cook it right. Oh, dear Lord. Heaven forbid,
I'm not
right?
saying.
God. Why don't I just chuck $70 out the window?
All I'm saying is that you tipped your hand by saying, I will be producing a thermometer, an instant read, the best instant read thermometer made on this planet.
Yeah.
I'll be temping the steak as you bring it to the table. Probably as you're putting it down. I won't even wait for it to land on the table.
When I go to Red the Steakhouse over the weekend, I'll just order it 130 degrees, but I will not say anything about a thermopen. You think there's going to be that big of a difference?
I don't know, but I think
Well, I'm telling you right now.
And by the way, what was that restaurant that you did that 130 degrees thing at?
Dante's.
Yeah. Well, by the way, if you went into Dante's kitchen right now, your picture would probably be on the wall saying, if this douchebag shows up, make sure.
Jeez.
Exactly.
Right. Man, journalists get no no props for trying to try to run with the story.
No, but when
I'm trying to expose the underbelly of the fact that people will not cook steak right.
Walking in saying, "Can I have a 130-degree steak?" I'm a little weird, but that's where I like it. That's one thing.
Yeah,
I'd like a 130-degree steak, Daniel. By the way, I've got 8 scientists with scientific equipment and a nuclear thermometer here to check when we're done.
In my pants.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, I'm going to stick this steak with something in my pants. It's going to tell me if it's done or not. All right, well, let's move on from that.
And by the way, how to take the joy out of ordering a steak in a restaurant and eating.
Okay, yeah. Again, research. I'm going to task you.
You're doing this.
You should do it for me. You should do it for me too. Right? 130 degrees. Commit.
I don't want
Daniel Vaughn said he'd do it.
San Diego to say,
"Oh my,
Sam, the cooking guy, is a bit of a d-bag.
So
He's
worried about the press.
Steak at a certain temperature. Who does that?" And the article would go on to say, the only time we've heard anybody doing that is a Mr. Greg Rempe in Cleveland, which is apparently he lives not too far away from that guy that held 3 girls in his basement.
It's 10 years ago, for crying out loud. God.
Does it matter?
Hold a couple girls in the basement against their will one time. You can't get over it.
Is it not a true
It wasn't my dad.
My dad.
Christ.
Good Lord, man.
All right. We got a couple minutes left here. Let's move off the steak. Let's go right on to hot dogs.
Yes.
Do you have a preferred method?
I do.
I saw you doing the cut curly Q thing or the slot dog or whatever they call it.
Whatever a slot dog? I don't even know what that is. Here's what I like to do. I like to take my dog. I like to boil it for a couple minutes in a pot, maybe 3 or 4. I think it plumps it up. Stop laughing. You're laughing. Mr. Thermopen in a restaurant, 130 degrees is laughing at me. I take my hot dog. I put it in a pot.
Yeah.
I boil it for a couple of minutes. It gets it there. It plumps it up a little bit. And then I like to finish it on a flat griddle or a cast iron pan.
Yeah.
Super hot. Look, it's cool to take a knife and do those little slits on all sides. They open up.
Yeah.
They're just crevices to accept ketchup, mustard, grilled onions, whatever you like to put on it. Sour cream. There's a Seattle hot dog that is famous for being the dog cooked properly, and then lots of sour cream and a ton of green onions. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
All right. So I like hot dogs in general. Let me ask you this follow-up question, by the way. July 4th, Joey Chestnut beat his competition eating 74 hot dogs and buns in a 10-minute time frame.
I'd say the kid's amazing, but he's no longer a kid. He's now, 34 or something?
He's near 40. By the way, Joey Chestnut, friend of show, done the show a couple different times. In a 10-minute time...
I'm impressed.
Yeah, in a 10-minute time frame, how many hot dogs could you eat?
Oh, it's so funny. 10?
Really? Wow.
No. I have no idea. How many?
Wow. I've weighed in at 6.
Like
tops.
you're talking like your basic.
Yes. One hot dog.
Short dog. Nothing special. No footlongs. Nothing.
No, just the regular Nathan wiener like they would eat in the hot dog competition. That's the standard wiener.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I figure I get the first one down in a minute.
Easy.
Right? Second one down in the second minute. There's 2.
You can do
now
8 more.
8 more. So that's a dog and a bun in a minute.
Woof.
Have you actually timed this?
No.
What gives you the number? Would you say 6?
I said 6.
We got to do, dude.
Because my thought is,
can we do this sometime?
Yeah, let's do it. We should figure out how we can do it. Or we can probably Instagram live it, right? I can share a screen with you and we can do it. Makes sense.
I'm completely down.
Yeah, all right. We'll have to do it. All right. Oh, shit. I'm way off. Hey, I got to run.
Hey.
I got to run.
Okay. All right, go.
Sam the Cooking Guy can be found at thecookingguy.com and at Not Tacos and not bringing a Thermapen to a steak restaurant.
You're a funny guy.
All right. Go see him if you're in the area. Also, by the way, if you are going to be around the Del Mar racetrack this coming weekend, Sam is going to be doing some cooking demos.
Bet on barbecue.
Bet on barbecue. So if you're going to be around there, say hello to my...
Gets you all the barbecue you can eat and beers. Do you know, I'm doing a demo. You know what I'm making?
No.
I'm calling it barbecued fried rice. I'm taking barbecued rib meat, barbecue chicken meats, and barbecue pork, pulled pork.
Yep.
Mixing it together and mixing it in to fried rice.
Oh.
Because I know all these barbecue guys end up with a shit ton and foil pans in their fridge.
Yeah.
The next day, and they go, "What do we do with this?"
There you
I'm
go.
here to tell you what to do with it.
Fried rice. Like it.
Fried rice. Yeah.
If you see him, say hello to my friend Sterling Ball from Big Papa Smokers. There's a good chance he's going to win the whole competition, all right?
Absolutely.
All right. Sam, always appreciate the time, my friend.
I'll go hug him for you. Thanks, man.
Right.
Love being here.
There he is. Sam the Cooking Guy. Right there. I'm way late. I mean, I'm glad I looked over at the clock because I am very far behind.
This is Greg Rempe, host of the Barbecue Central radio show.
Yes.
And you are listening to
Little ID. Little ID.
All barbecue and grilling all the time.
Now, I'll go ahead and do the quick read. Green Mountain Grills, that's right, some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today. If you are looking for something that will house a lot of food, you want to look at the Jim Bowie. That's the biggest one. You can probably do 6-7 pork butts unpanned, probably up to 6 or so if you like to cook in the pans. Daniel Boone is the middle model. Probably get 4, maybe 5, depending on how you stack them in there. That's pork butts. Definitely a whole packer in the Daniel Boone. And then if you're looking for portability, versatility, Davy Crockett is the way you want to go. This one will fit in all your trucks and vans and SUVs. If you don't have access to a traditional power outlet, all you have to do is use 12-volt converter, plug it right into your car or whatever vehicle you have. And away it goes. You're not sacrificing a tremendous amount of capacity due to its portability easier. And don't forget, it is wood-fired. And Green Mountain Grill sells wood pellets and rubs and all the other accoutrements that you need in order to make a great cooking experience happen, whether it's on the campsite, and the upcoming tailgates, which we have coming up here very shortly. College football getting ready to ramp up. The first week of preseason NFL games is already under the belt as well. So if you're looking for something portable, Davy Crockett is definitely the one you're going to want to look at. Now, let's get back to the Daniel Boone and the Jim Bowie very quickly. Aside from the great cooking capacity and functionality of these two cookers, they also accept the Green Mountain Grill pizza oven insert. So rip the guts out of that cooker, set the pizza oven insert down, and now you have a high-heat pizza oven. You can have pizza parties, make your own pizza nights, do pizza every single night. The thin Neapolitan-style pies work exceptionally well in those. And again, wood-fired goodness all runs on pellets. Hit up greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com right now. And be sure to check out their full line of what they offer. Again, that's greenmountaingrills.com. We're back to wrap the first hour right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
John Dawson weighing in with an email. Subject line, 7-pound dog. Remps, a 7-pound dog is known as a large cat. Yo quiero pork butt. I get it. This portion of the show being brought to you by Fireboard. Monitor up to 6 different temperatures simultaneously. Connect to Wi-Fi for cloud-based monitoring or connect via Bluetooth. If you have Alexa or Google Assistant in your home, you're in luck because Fireboard is fully integrated with both. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. That's 816-945-2232 or visit fireboard.com. All right, let's wrap it up here and head to the second hour. Thanks again to Sam the Cooking Guy for joining me in the first hour. We battled on the steak issue. Did not see eye to eye there. But great to hear that Not Tacos is doing swimmingly at this point. A month in, so congratulations for making it the first 4 weeks, Sam. Continued success there. Can't wait to get out there and try them in person, hopefully sooner than later. A lot of stuff to get to in the second hour. Stick with me. We'll be right back.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono. It's all about the charbono, dude.
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Barbecue Central Show. We talk about all things important in the world of barbecue right here. Fun, exciting, live, local, and late breaking, at least while it's happening right now here on your Tuesdays. Remember, the show is live from 9 to 11 on each Tuesday evening. So if you haven't yet, make plans to join me for a live show. It's great. Still to come on the show, Kyle Riggen, the maker of K-Rigg barbecue pit, the pressure cooker barbecue pit. Backyard Barbecue Show on Instant Chat. Grilled cheese with leftover meat is great. Agreed. So I got a lot of email after the show last week asking about the Matt Pittman brisket method. Tell me again, what was it? Wrap here? Do I spread? Blah, blah, blah. Very simple. Let me re-go over it because there's literally 4 or 5 steps. And all you need is time. That is the most of what you need, time. If you're looking for a quick cook, if you're looking for something to get out briefly, this is not the cook for you, okay? Putting it out there right up front. This is going to take at least 16 hours if you're following the method, at least. That's not including the hold time. Here's the method. Again, once again, by Matt Pittman. Shout out to Mr. Meat Church. First and foremost, do your trimming, blah, 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 season it up, whatever you like. You put this on the pit. Fat cat up. Fat cap up. That's the whole thing here. That's the biggest curveball. Everybody talking about fat cap down. This is fat cat up. Also, your pit will run for the first 14 hours at 195 degrees. Okay? Get in, get your pit temperature set, whether you have a pellet cooker or a gas cooker, or you can finagle a stick burner into that 195 degree range, however you do it. The method is 195 pit temp for 14 hours. Put it in, close it up, that's it. Then, after 14 hours has elapsed, pull out your peach butcher paper, not foil, peach butcher paper, wrap it tightly in the butcher paper. Then put it back in your pit. Fat cap up. Increase your pit temperature 275 degrees from 195 degrees. So, once again, you're increasing the pit temperature from 195 to 275. Now, the outlying time frame here is for an additional 3 hours. Now, what I would like to tell you is start checking for doneness after that first hour and a half, maybe 2 hours has elapsed. You don't know how the meat is going to change or cook or adapt or whatever. Every brisket is different. So around that 1.5 to 2 hour range, start looking for doneness. If you're not using Wagyu, and I've been told, and I took mine to 108, or scratch that, 208. Higher finish temp, the normal briskets, choice, select, blah, blah, blah. 205, 203, 205. Then hold once you've reached the internal temperature, finished. And again, you can tell by how probe tender it is, right? It's given up the ghost. Keep it in the wrap. Go into a dry cooler. Minimum hold time 1 hour. Okay? So again, fat cap up, 195 pit temp for 14 hours. Then wrap tightly and butcher paper. Increase pit temperature to 275 and put back on for 3 hours. Start checking for doneness 1.5 to 2 hours into that 3 hour stretch. Rest in cooler 1 hour minimum. That's it. Easy stuff. Now, I did want to mention, if you follow me on social media, you saw that I got to hang out with the barbecue snob Daniel Vaughn this past Sunday. Always a treasure. Brief recap of the Tales from the Pit fiasco. We talked a little bit about that. Him and I differ a little bit about, was it okay for them to do what they did? Now, again, they've deleted the episode, which I think is ridiculous. Daniel seems to think that it was more on the reckless side because they never reached out to Aaron Franklin themselves. They just went ahead and went off a bunch of research and trusted sources, but says everything was fine up until the point they decided to say, well, the only thing we can surmise after reviewing all this data is that Franklin's either going to sell to somebody else or it's going to close. That's where it became reckless. I disagree. I think that if they feel their research is right, then they put in the work. Now, as I had said after I asked them to come on my show, I also would have lobbed a call and said, hey, just so you know, I'm a run with this. Here's what I see. I'm going to run with this. Is this good? Is this bad? You can dispute it after the fact. I'm going to run with it. Then you've covered all the bases. But, from a show standpoint and an entertainment standpoint, I thought, by and large, from a journalistic integrity standpoint, these days they did pretty good. So if they liked and they felt confident in what they were saying, which they did, again, because they released the podcast, they should have just stuck with it. Then they could have added production on the front side of it after the fact and said, hey, Aaron Franklin did an interview with Daniel Vaughn, said we were way off base. It's actually not going to happen, but this is why we did it. Here's the show anyway. Enjoy it for what it is. We also enjoyed a meal at what I says is the second best barbecue place in Cleveland, which is Mabel's Barbecue. It was also Daniel's cousin that was with second cousin. So we got a little bit of an eat on. Then Daniel Vaughn introduced me to the best deli in Cleveland. Now, it's on the west side, so I have a 77 East Side-itis kind of a thing. The West Siders have it too when you have to go to the east side. But thank God Daniel came to town, because I don't know how long it would have taken me to find Larder Delicatessen and Bakery. Special mention to Jeremy Umansky, who is the owner. Jeremy is a mushroom expert. Not that kind of mushroom, like the wild mushrooms that you can eat. He enlightened me, the likes of which I cannot believe. Oh, unbelievable. I have him set up for October 2nd interview. We're going to go way deep into mushrooms, like you've never seen. He did a mushroom pastrami sandwich. If you haven't been on my Instagram lately, you got to check that out. Unbelievable. It was all mushrooms. Chicken of the woods. You ever heard of chicken of the woods? Evidently, it's a real popular mushroom. It's right here in Cleveland. Hey, let me talk to you quickly about Big Papa Smokers before we get to the K-Rigg. The one-stop online shop for all things barbecue. Their curated selection of only the best outdoor cooking and grilling supplies get you on the path to better barbecue results in no time. Everything at Big Papa Smokers has been Pitmaster approved by Sterling Big Papa Ball himself. From the award-winning rubs and sauces to the American-made grills and smokers, Big Papa Smokers has something for every type of outdoor cook. Helps you become a better one at that. Now, whether in the backyard or in the competition circuit, Big Papa's has something for everyone, like the championship rubs and seasonings, popular flavors like Sweet Money, Cattle Prod, Cash Cow, all proven winners on the competition scene and in the backyard. They also have teamed up with Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form what's known as the West Coast Offense. That's cornered the market on competitive barbecue. They also own Granny's Barbecue Sauce, an award-winning barbecue sauce, by the way. If you're looking for a new go-to sauce that will please everyone, Granny's traditional yet powerful flavor reminds us why we fell in love with barbecue in the first place. And aside from their premium selection of rubs and sauces, they also offer a vast array of pellet, charcoal, and wood smokers. For instance, if you're looking for a easy-to-use pellet smoker, the Mac 2-Star General Pellet Grill is the one you want to check out. They're the exclusive Mac dealer online, even offers special packages. Not a fan of pellet smokers? Fine. Take a look at the Old Hickory Ace BP, the only charcoal smoker that Big Papa trusts on his competition trail. If you're a backyard barbecue enthusiast and you're looking for a durable and versatile grill that will last forever, the M Grill is just what you need from Texas. And they're built like tanks. If you're not sure what kind of grill you need, you can't go wrong with anything they sell over there at BigPapaSmokers.com. They have a hand-selected selection to help you barbecue better, boost your skills with the help of Big Papa Smokers, the #1 online barbecue store. You can call them toll-free at 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727. Or shop the website, BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA Smokers.com. Kyle Riggen, K-Rigg, coming up out of the break. Stick around, be right back.
The only show giving you a monthly visit from a doctor of barbecue. A man actually named Meathead. The author of a barbecue Bible. Bloggers, reviewers, competitors, and manufacturers by the dozens. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. Hey, Smoking with Smithfield Committed Cooks. Make sure you head to smokingwithsmithfield.com and report your first place prize winnings so you can claim your prizes. Have you registered to compete in the American Royal Pork Loin Ancillary? Smithfield just increased the prize purse to $6,000. Don't forget to sign up for the Smithfield Classic, which will be in Richmond, Virginia on September 29th. To sign up, hit up Jesse at Big Papa Smokers. Jesse, Jessie, at BigPapaSmokers.com. That's Jesse at BigPapaSmokers.com. All right, so I think it was like a month or so ago, I get a link from one of my Centralites showing me this cooker. The barbecue and grilling community can be a bit snobbish on things from time to time. It can be protective of its low and slow heritage, but in this segment, we will take the conversation and put it right on its ear as we learn about a new product that's available on the market. Ever thought about doing barbecue in a pressure cooker before? My next guest has, and now there's a barbecue pressure cooker available for sale right now on the market. So let's go ahead and race to the Traeger Grills hotline and welcome first-timer to the show and the inventor of K-Rigg, Kyle Riggen, joining me here on the show. Kyle, how are you, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me, Greg.
Bet. Absolutely my pleasure, Kyle. Appreciate you making time for the show this evening. So I guess before we get into the cooker and I guess what some would call the haters, let's back it up a little bit and talk a little bit about what you do for a living and where you're home based out of, all that stuff, and then we'll build into the cooker from there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. I'm self-employed. I have a shop out behind my house and been doing this for about 3 months now. And, that's basically what I do is kind of come up with ideas and kind of try to execute as best as possible with them.
So are you kind of a hired hitman for engineering then? Like you contract on with different companies, or have you had a steady W-2 position with somebody before?
The last W-2 position I've had probably was, 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I actually was part of another business that got sold out of, and so now this is my main gig, and see where it takes me.
All right, so K-Rigg is the full-time gig for you right now.
Right.
Background in barbecue. Are you somebody that grew up in a family that loved the live fire stuff, or something that like you got into after college and wanted to like get chicks and stuff, so you learned barbecue? Like, what's your background?
Oh, my background, you know, I was a Boy Scout growing up. We cooked a lot on, you know, open fires back then, but it was pretty premature and limited. And, you know, I had a electric smoker before this, and I might have smoked 3 or 4 times on it. I think I tried a brisket once and completely ruined it. Could do ribs okay and some chicken wings, but that's about it. And yeah, well, my experience with smoking is very limited.
Wow. So you're like freshly cut wood. You're a little green when it comes to the industry, I guess.
Yeah, I am. And you know, it doesn't. You know, you talk about the haters, but it doesn't really bother me because I don't have any background in it. You know, I think if I had, you know, all this experience doing it, you know, the old-fashioned way, I would maybe be a little hurt by it. But you know, when somebody comments on like the videos and things of that nature, you know, it just rolls off my back because I have no basis for it.
All right, Kyle. So let's go ahead and take a look at the K-Rigg itself, and just from a operational standpoint, how does it work from start to finish?
Okay. The chamber itself has two chambers. You have an inner chamber, and then you have an outer chamber. And the outer chamber has a 60,000 BTU burner, the length of the chamber underneath the inner chamber. And then underneath that, you have a Honda engine that has been converted to propane and then runs off vegetable oil. That engine, when it started, actually the exhaust goes into a catalytic converter to convert any sort of unburnt hydrocarbons, converts it to CO2 and water, basically. And then that's what pressurizes the actual chamber. And it acts like a convection oven. So it's continuously running, low idle, sounds like a quiet Honda generator when it's running. And it basically keeps just enough moisture in that chamber to keep the meat from drying out, but it doesn't have excess amount of moisture like in a regular pressure cooker, so you're able to achieve the color like you smoke something for hours on end.
All right, so I'm not smart. Let me backtrack here just so I can make sure that I have all the other centralites up to speed here. 60,000 BTU burner that runs full length. That's on the outer chamber, and that runs the full length of the tube there.
Right, so it's inside the outer chamber, outside the inner chamber.
And that's propane fired?
Right.
Okay. Then there's a Honda engine underneath it.
Correct.
That runs on propane?
Right.
But it also needs vegetable oil.
Well, instead of using like a regular motor oil, if you don't want to really eat that, you know, it's a vegetable oil.
Okay. So
which you have to change every about 25 hours of cooking because it will congeal just like fire oil will. But that's the only maintenance you have to really worry about.
And so drop the engine, or drop the oil pan plug, drain it out, and then put more vegetable oil in.
Right, and it takes about 0.4 of a quart, so it's nothing, you know, it's not a lot. It takes about 10 minutes, and you do that about every 25 hours of cooking.
And
with 20, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what was the decibel rating on the run of the engine, you think?
I don't have that yet, but it'd be about, when it's all tuned, it's going to be about the same as a Honda quiet generator.
Okay.
So it's you know, it's an engine, but it's you can have a conversation around it.
When you start it up, do you have to then also run the engine the entire time of the cook, right? I mean, it's all part and parcel?
No. So basically, when you start cooking, you would start the burner first, and that gets the inner chamber hot, and it's cooking about 550 degrees, and you just have the burner on. There's an on position. That's it. And then you put a couple, like a handful to maybe, you know, I've had some users use up to 2 cups of wood pellets. I use wood chips. I'm not a guy that really likes stuff really too smoky. It gives me heartburn. So some wood chips, you let, kind of have the door closed, let everything get up to temp. You go inside, get your rub on your meat, and then you come out, put the meat in, shut the door, start the engine, and then you close the pressure cap. And in probably about 3 seconds, you have roughly around 10 psi. And over time, that psi drops off a little bit because the pressure release, actual regulators, they spring in, it starts to get heat soaked, but it drops to about 7 psi, 6 psi. But that's plenty of pressure and plenty of heat, and you need that high heat and pressure. So when that heat gets into the meat fibers, it's actually breaking down the meat fibers and cooking it.
Is that a lot of pressure? I have no idea. I mean, 10 psi doesn't necessarily sound like a lot.
It's not. A regular, like an Instant Pot that you buy off Amazon is 15. The cooker itself is, the barrels are built out of ASME 10 gauge pressure rated pipe. So you probably could put several hundred psi in it without any issues, but it has 2 pressure regulators on it. One that's used, and then the safety one at 15 psi. And so, multiple things have to go wrong for the thing to, everybody always had a comment about they're worried about the thing blowing up.
How would it blow up? Like worst case scenario, how could it blow up?
Worst case scenario I would see is if you had somehow you had a lot of liquid in it, the engine stopped running, both pressure relief valves got clogged. One pressure release valve is basically a radiator cap, so I got an opening of about an inch. And then it would somehow the system would keep enough pressure, to get to a point of several hundred psi. But before that, the engine would have to start running backwards, or the system isn't that tight that it would. I can't foresee it ever getting anywhere near that.
Yeah, and then so like the tube itself would then explode, or what?
No, I think it'd actually start running the engine backwards.
Oh, I don't even know what that means. That it would just it would just go in reverse. It would suck all the pressure out of it, and it would freeze the meat.
Right, because basically well, not freeze the meat.
Yeah, that was a joke. Okay, we're running backwards now. See where my mind is? I'm a simpleton, remember?
Yeah. I'm trying to be a little serious on the whole, because, I understand how people are, pressure cookers in itself has had a bad rap over the decades. You've seen the pictures of them, destroying a kitchen of somebody leaving it on the stove.
Yeah.
But I've had situations where, like with brisket, we usually put some water in the drip pan that's inside and get it up to heat. And if you move it, you can actually hear that water splash down onto the burner. And you could hear like the steam start creating more pressure than what the normally engine does. And the engine starts to slow down, but the pressure release valve takes care of, it only raises up like maybe one psi, and that's a flash steam situation. That's like hot water that's probably close to boiling anyway, getting hit on a basically 550 degree plate, and it's flashing. And that's kind of the worst case scenario for anything like this, is a flash steam situation. And when it happens, you watch it, and the gauge only goes up about a psi maybe.
Yeah.
And everything goes back to normal in about 10 seconds.
And that's all sealed off anyway. That's just the water, or the liquid hitting the bottom of the tube, and it's just hot, right?
Like chicken wings and ribs, anything underneath 45 minutes, I don't put any water in the drip tray that's inside there. The drip tray is only there for to catch the grease, so it doesn't go in a hot part of the inner chamber. You don't want that burnt grease, smell or taste.
Yeah.
And so the water for something that's over 45 minutes is only there to basically delay that inner pan getting too hot before the fats of the meat start dripping in that pan, to keep that pan itself from flashing off the grease. So all that water is doing is, it has nothing to do with the actual cooking of the meat. You're just delaying that heat, that pan being heat soaked to a point where it's not burning grease. So, but that's the only things, like pork butts or briskets. That's the only thing that you usually or beef ribs, anything over 45 minutes.
And how much water are you putting in at that point? I mean, sure, it sounds like you want to minimize it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the pan itself is about half an inch tall by 6 inches by 27 inches. So it's like maybe a cup of water. So it's not much. And really that water is probably evaporated, 10, 15 minutes into it. But it gives it just enough time that when the greases start flowing in that drip pan, it's not flashing off and causing, burnt, grease smell.
And I got some people jumping in here in real time, and they've missed the first part of the conversation. This thing basically runs 550 degrees, so there's no knob to control the burner or anything like that?
No.
Right. All right. Can you run leads into the chamber for like remote thermometers and Mavericks and all that other stuff in case you want to monitor those internal temperatures?
Yes. So the only way I really cook a brisket is putting a meat probe in it, and then you just sandwich that lead through the O-ring door, and a little bit might, a little pressure might start leaking out, but a little pressure leakage on the whole unit, it's not going to, as long as the engine keep up and keep the pressure going, it's not like you have to have it completely sealed, because that engine's just running and it's creating a, convection oven situation.
Have you thought about running like more PSI, or like making a K-Rigg version 2?
Yeah.
Like a 25 PSI or 50 or whatever?
Well, I want to keep it under 15 PSI, because if you go above 15 PSI, you get into a lot of legalities with, you need to get, tested as a boiler at that point. So I'm trying to keep the cost on the unit down as much as possible. So anything under 15 PSI doesn't require that certification. And I've actually tried it at 15. I've changed out the regulators, rev up the engine. Engine's louder at 15 PSI. And the food actually gets done quicker, but it doesn't get the color. Like there's a time difference where you have to kind of have just the right amount of pressure and temperature, because if one gets ahead of the other, then either, you get the meat that was done, but it wasn't looking as appetizing as what we've been able to achieve now. So it's kind of in this happy spot. I've been working on this for probably almost a year now.
Wow.
With different variations. My first prototype, nothing to be really proud of from a visual perspective.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, from an initial prototype to what you have for sale on your website now, like, was it 7 revisions or 20 revisions or 3 revisions? Like, what's that process like for you?
Yeah, we're probably at version 6 right now, if I was going to guess. So, version 1 was very rough, proof of concept. Then version 2 started getting into more of like, okay, what would this actually look like if you sold it to somebody? And then the tweaks were, burner length, burner heat, or amount of, BTUs burners creating, PSI, engines too, went through several different engines. And landed on this, that it's, like everything, anything can have some improvements, but it's something that seems like it's very easy to use from the customers that have it now. And it's something that I'm constantly going to be making improvements to it at some point, or while the days go on. But improvements also cost money, and that seems like a sticking point with a lot of people right now, is the cost of the unit.
Kyle Riggen joining me here on the show. K-Rigg, RIGG.com is the website if you want to check it out here while we're talking. Kyle, this is all manufactured here in the country, or most of it, or how's that work out? Everybody talks big about USA this, USA that, but when it comes to actually spending dollars, all of a sudden people don't seem to care as much.
Yeah, so the shop that you see behind me is where I make them. So right now I'm the one producing them, and all the steel I source here locally. Engine, of course, is it's a Honda engine, so it's probably produced in Japan. But all the steel parts, welding, all that is here, and I'm outside of Austin, Texas.
Are you able to source good deals being a small kind of one guy company? And I mean, do you feel like you're getting a fair shake?
I mean, I had some contacts that I've been using, but you know, it's all about numbers. It's one of those things that when you order 5 of them, the cost is higher than ordering 100 of them.
Yep.
So, you know, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, that's the growing pains of something like this is, you know, trying to get over that first hurdle from, you know, doing everything retail from a supply perspective to actually, okay, now I can plan on making 100 of them at a time. And, you know, then the cost gets driven down considerably at that point.
You a married guy?
Yes. Married with one daughter and another daughter on the way.
Oh.
Probably in another week.
God bless you. Look at you. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
So, like, do you have to run I mean, I would assume a single Kyle would be like, screw it. Let's just order 1,000 engines. We're going to make this thing happen. We're going to get the best deals we could possibly get, and it's going to be sink or swim. When you're married, you got one kid already down. You got one coming in 2 weeks. Probably got be a little bit more judicious in those business plans. So how do you waffle on that decision? Because, you know, I mean, as you said, the bigger the numbers, the better the savings, but you don't want to do it too risky or not risky enough and be paying through the nose every time.
Yeah, it's one of. You sound like my parents.
I have three daughters, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's one of those things that I have to remind myself. You know, like, okay, hey, I got people. You know, actually relying on me.
Yeah.
But my wife is really understanding. She's the one that's like, you know, she's always the one that's kind of pushed me. You know, on things like, hey, you can do this. Go do it. So I have to really give her credit for that, because I probably would have given up on a lot of things in my life if it wasn't for her. And, you know, it's, you know, you have a dollar amount in your mind that, you know, okay, I have this much to spend and I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. And, you know, it's going well now. So you just kind of have to see where it goes. And I'd rather try it and say, well, it didn't work, than not try it and ever wonder what could have.
What's the price point?
Right now, it's the retail is $3,999, but I have it on my website for $2,999. It's a huge discount, and I'm just trying to get my numbers up. And that's basically $2,999. I'm not making a dime off of it.
I was going to say, you're either cutting it close or there's actually some pretty good margin in there to take a $1,000 swipe.
Right. I'm trying to get to a point where this next order of supplies that I got to get, I can do bigger bulk orders and maybe get some margin in there. And I have to get these out to some people's hands. Right now I have about 9 of them out there.
Mm-hmm. 9 sold or 9 given?
Yeah. Yeah. 9 sold. So they're out there, already delivered. And, so it's one of those things that, I have to just get in people's hands, because when people see the videos and the pictures, you know, they're skeptical, and I understand. I mean, somebody's claiming to cook something that's, you know, a fraction of time, and everybody's like, well, it's got to taste like crap.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't. And you know, and the hard part about this is I think people are going to have to taste it to buy it, and that's a slow roll.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to get units out there so people can actually taste it.
Kyle, can I hold you over for one more segment? We can finish the conversation here. All right, we're talking with Kyle Riggen from K-Rigg, and the website is k-rigg, RIGG.com. So check it out here while I talk to you quickly about Cook Shack. That's right, manufacturing smoker ovens for barbecue lovers with any amount of experience, whether you barbecue in the backyard, on the competition circuit, or in a 5-star dining facility. Cook Shack has the unit that will do the job, and with a full line of barbecue sauces, spices, pellets, and wood chunks, it's the perfect one-stop shop. Cook Shack strives to be your barbecue resource center by offering cooking classes, online recipes, how-to videos, 2 blogs, smoke and grilling 101s, and a video cooking classroom. Check out their website at cookshack.com or follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google+. Get advice and share your passion for barbecue on their world-class barbecue forum. They actually have one of those still. Cook Shack pellet-fired smokers are the choice of champions because they were designed by a champion, Ed Fast Eddie Morin. The FEC 100, PG 1000, always customer favorites. The PG 1000 can actually double as a smoker and a grill. Low and slow, hot and fast, the pellet grill line gives you the most for your money. Cook Shack residential electric smokers, if you're not into pellet smokers, the #1 smoker in the industry. High quality means high durability and versatility. Anything you can make in your oven, you can make in a Cook Shack. Passion and dedication drives Cook Shack's manufacturing, with quality always being at the forefront. Get the best in barbecue since 1962. Call 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698, or visit cookshack.com. We are back with Kyle Riggen to talk more K-Rigg. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rampey.
Hey, welcome back. We're talking with Kyle Riggen from K-Rigg. Kyle, thanks for hanging with me through the break here.
Thank you.
So doing, the 3 or 4 initial cooks on those, or on that electric smoker, is that where you decided that pressurized barbecue needed to be implemented? Or like, how do you make the leap from a couple marginally successful cooks to, man, let's build this brand new way of thinking? I mean, it's kind of a departure.
Back in probably when I was in high school, we always went out in West Texas to this place that had ribs only on Friday. It was a bait shop / barbecue place. And I just remember some of those best ribs I ever ate in my life at that place. And it's called Big O's. And I don't know if it's actually true, but the saying was that he smoked them / pressure cooked them. Like either pressure cooked them a little bit and smoked them. I mean, it was one of those things that you could almost chew on the bone. It was that tender. And so, I've been exposed to some pressure cooking and things of that nature. And, the pressure cooking always leaves a horrible, horrible color to it. It's a gray. And people, usually put them in an oven to try to get them colored up. So I was like, well, that's when I started kind of tossing this on my head, is how do you do this? Get the color. It's more of an outdoor unit. Get the color, get the taste, and it'd be a one-shot kind of deal. And I just kind of acted on it, and that's how I ended up here. Never thought of it.
And you're like you're in the heart of barbecue country. You said you're just outside of Austin.
Yeah, but even at that, it's Aaron Franklin's just south of us, and I've never had his food. I've actually read his book. It's the only kind of education I have on barbecuing. I actually borrowed it from a friend that said, "Hey, you need to read this." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I do," and learned a lot, which is good because before that I didn't know how to really cook a brisket correctly, and I probably still don't. I have a good friend of mine that has a K-Rigg, and he was more into the competitive scene, and he's really kind of taken off with it and taught me a lot. It's just a learning process. So I'm probably the last guy on this earth that probably should have came up with this idea. Because my background in the barbecue world is very limited.
Yeah. So traditionalists obviously are going to poo-poo on this for any number of reasons. No fire. There's a motor. Right. There's pressure, time reduction. The list certainly could go on and on, but let me take a different direction to a certain degree. I totally get convenience, and this may sound a bit hypocritical of me, but I love to live in the world of hypocrisy. It's like rule number 14 of my show. But given the fact that, and because I have 3 pellet cookers on my patio right now, but isn't the idea of pressurized barbecue pits continuing to feed the laziness of America? Like, shouldn't we be forcing somebody to do something a little bit longer or a little bit harder? And yet, as a society, we continue to focus on making shit easier and easier and easier. Now we can do 10-pound briskets in 2 hours. What are you doing to the world, Kyle?
I understand that because I have a hard time. I hate cell phones. I hate, social media. Like, I wish I could just get rid of my cell phone. So the whole, always having to be connected, always like, go, go, go. That's not my personality. But my engineering part of me, I like to take what somebody is taking as an art and really perfecting an art, which takes a lot of talent, a lot of effort, a lot of time. And I like to find ways to take that into a process, which, the artist hates. If I can take a process that is very artfully done and then do it where somebody that has no experience whatsoever can achieve similar, if not better situation, better product from it. That's what I really enjoy doing. And so it was my desire for this was, I do love barbecue ribs. Like, if I'm going to go into a place, I'm going to eat barbecue ribs. Mm-hmm. But I like the electric smoker. I'm 4 hours. So, that's a whole Saturday. And, I'm not the kind of guy that will sit around a cooker for 4 hours. And if I do, I have to plan it out. I mean, it has to be a weekend. And so it's like one of those things that I guess my inability to wait is kind of what spawned this. And, you get home now from work and fired up, and by, 6:30 in the evening, you have ribs. So,
capacity wise, what are you looking at?
A 12-pound brisket fits in it just fine. It's about 8 inches. The grill on the bottom is 8 inches by 27 inches deep. Got about 7 inches height. So one regular sized brisket fits in there just fine. With the 2 racks in there, you can do, fill them up with chicken wings. You probably do 50 chicken wings. You can do 4 baby rack ribs in there. And the neat thing is you can actually kind of lay things on top of each other, like the ribs you can lay on top of each other, and you don't really have to worry about the smoke not getting into something because the pressure just shoves it everywhere. And so for a cookout, it's a little different in your planning, because usually you, like what we've done in the past, is you do your brisket. Usually it takes about 2 hours when you're to about 190. You wrap it up, put in a cooler, and then you can do your ribs and your chicken. And by the time that brisket's ready to come out and slice, you got everything ready to go. So you're 3 hours into it.
Are there any notable barbecue personalities that are using your cooker? I mean, I get that sometime promotion is the mother of necessity, so you might gift one out here or there. Maybe you're inclined to send one up to Cleveland or something. But
if you're ever down in Austin, you're more than welcome.
Look at you. I like it. But I mean, is there any like personality that's using it right now that can attest?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I would love to, have that interaction and that introduction with somebody. Just hasn't happened yet. But the Facebook video went viral on me, and of course I've gotten out a huge. I can't keep up with the emails and notifications, and everybody wants to review it and everything, and I just don't have the manpower right now. I'm having a hard time just keeping up with. I'm not at that point of hiring people yet, so I'm having a hard time just keeping up with the orders that I have, and it's one of those things that I would love to send out a couple free ones to people. Just at some point I will get there.
Do you think that it cooks a certain food better than others, or is it pretty universal?
Yeah, it's hands down, I think actually vegetables like potatoes, okra, corn, that stuff just absorbs all the spices, all the smoke. I mean, the baked potato and corn that comes off of this is really awesome. And then you move down to like chickens and pork, pork ribs. Seems like you have to be really careful with the pepper. Like if you put pepper on a pork rib or chicken wing like you normally would on a smoker, you'd be burning your mouth, because the actual pressure kind of breaks down that spice and then shoves it down into the meat. And that chicken and pork seems like it has more of a porous meat that it goes all the way in, and it will burn, like just regular black pepper will burn your lips with this.
Wow.
If you're too heavy on it. The beef, brisket, and beef ribs, you can season it more like a traditional smoker. It just seems like there's those fibers in the beef take longer to actually open up and break down, and so it doesn't get overly spiced if you're not too careful with it. But the pork. I mean, I usually when I put things in this, I toss them in some barbecue sauce, put some salt and pepper on it, and that's it. And then you're eating it without sauce when it comes out. There's no need for sauce. And I don't know, a lot of people say that, but I mean, I haven't put a sauce on anything coming out of this.
You had mentioned that you're getting a lot of requests. There's a lot of notifications. You haven't hired anybody else yet, but I mean, at some point, I would assume you're going to have to decide to start bringing people on. Are you always going to look to work off of a lead time, or ideally, would you like to see something where you have stock available?
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point I have to get stock available, especially around probably Christmas, because I can see something like this might be a Christmas present for somebody, and they're not going to be excited about waiting 4 weeks after Christmas. But it's like anything, you just gotta get the capital going and get the orders rolling, and that's kind of like this next step.
America loves bigger and better. Would you build a bigger unit?
It's been rolling around. Don't really know how I'm going to pursue that. I think you just kind of have to wait to see what comes of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because I've been approached by restaurants and things of that nature. I just don't know how I'm gonna play that.
That could be the avenue that makes the millions, right? The pressurized barbecue cooker for the barbecue restaurants.
Right.
Nice. Kyle Riggen created K-Rigg, K-Rigg, RIGG.com. It's a pressurized barbecue cooker. And if you were watching on video, you're seeing all the food that it was turning out. So certainly from a photography standpoint, we can attest to the color it's achieving as well, aside from the quick cook times. Kyle, really appreciate you coming on and talking about the K-Rigg and letting us get to know you a little bit better. Thanks for doing it.
Well, thanks, Greg. And if you're ever down in Austin, let me know.
I sure will. There he is, Kyle Riggen. K-Rigg. Like it. I'm going to shut me down.
All guests appear via the Traeger Grills hotline.
Send one over to Cleveland. Or if you come down to Austin. I like it. I like it. I see you work. All right, so instant reaction. What do we think? So right now it's $3,000. I imagine it's going to pop back up to that $4,000 after that initial run, or whatever time frame he's looking at in order to get that second order. So it sounds like he's working off that initial run right now and then trying to stockpile and then go for that second order, which would be the bigger order. So sacrificing margin potentially by leaps and bounds, kind of right at the zero mark. Probably not at zero, but definitely $1,000 off a $4,000 deal is quite a swoop here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm interested in hearing what the snobs have to say. You guys dig it or hate it? Man, I want to hate it, but I'm pretty progressive. I got to be honest. I'm a lot more progressive than most of you people. So I would like to see the success here. And he's right. People need to taste it. That's what I'm thinking to myself. Do I want to spend $3,000? I want to taste it first. We'll see where it goes. I'll keep track. You know who's established? The Barbecue Guru. Damn right. Longest running sponsor of this show. We've always believed that outdoor cooking should be easy because it can be, especially with the Monolith Barbecue Guru Edition grill. The Monolith is the world's first temperature-controlled smoker with a built-in power draft fan. This means smarter control, greater freedom with automatic temperature control. Easily choose your cooking time and temperature and let the Monolith do the work of a sous chef or a barbecue pitmaster. With minimal effort, you now have oven-like precision at the grill. You can serve the tastiest, juiciest of meals each and every time. Come on, doesn't get easier than that. You can visit the website bbqguru.com, or you can call them 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. Ask them all the questions that you might have. Don't guess. Because, hey, you want to make sure you got it right. Again, that's the Barbecue Guru. Also, the rib rack. Don't forget about the rib rack. Oh, yeah. If you got a ceramic cooker or you have a big offset, you can double, maybe triple the amount of ribs that you can do. You can even stick a whole chicken in the middle of it if you want. Up to 6 ribs. We're back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Craig Rimpey.
National Barbecue News, dedicated to all things barbecue. Their goal to introduce new people to the barbecue world while keeping the barbecue enthusiast and professional informed on all the current happenings in and around Barbecue Nation. They obtain this goal by offering timely news stories, new product reviews, barbecue event calendar, and unique recipes inside their printed products, website, social media pages, and email newsletter. Subscribe now by visiting barbecuenews.com. Now, let me see if I can do this. Widgets, live, comments. This work? Widget not yet authorized. Right click. Okay. Let me see if I can get this. Right click, authorize export to Facebook. Really? I have to log in. I don't remember the last time I logged into Facebook. Is that even the right password? I'm trying to see if I can get this comments thing going. All right, it says I'm connected. But it's probably not to the right thing, right? Right. John.
Yo.
Pressure cooker barbecue. What do you think?
I think it's flipping awesome.
You do?
What? It's.
Are you not ready to hate?
No, I mean, it's like, it's not boiling water in a bag and a brisket. It's actually fire. It's actually wood chips. It's cool looking. Here's somebody who's trying to do something. You know, I'm not running out to buy one, mind you, but it's like, hey, I'm excited to follow it.
So where's the price point for you have to be to get you excited enough to go out and try it? Like buy it?
I'm not going to lie, man. I'm close at the $29.99.
3's better than 4, right?
Yeah, I'm like, it's like on sale, but I'm never the one to get the brand new iPhone. I always gotta wait and it's brand new. It's gonna have some, but it's like, I thought about it hard when I looked at that. I'm not gonna lie.
Conceptually, you're not gonna take a dump all over it because it's not offset and 20 hours and all this other stuff, or because it's something new, you don't have any aversion to that. A lot of people do.
Oh, I do. I don't, just because. First of all, in the vein of Tim Allen, it's got a motor on it. It's creating pressure, and it's got a big chamber, and I can cook ribs in 20 minutes. I mean, and if they're tasting good, I really can't argue with, hey, what's show rule number 4?
If the meat's good, something good's got to happen?
Exactly.
Oh, all right. I got my own rules right. Thank God.
I'm telling you. So it's like, no, I think it looks cool. It looks like it's well built. Is it got legs? I don't know if it can survive. He's got some startup issues. People are going to be climbing all over it if it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. You got like all the cookers, so I just always wonder where your level.
I don't have them all,
is.
but
you got to play.
I will. Yeah, I will eventually have them all.
That's right. Just like all of us want. We will all have them all. All right. Thank you, John. John, not averse. Like it. Outside the box thinker. Just like me. Not ready to poo-poo on everybody's parade. Let's see. Here we go. The boater. I don't even know what other $3,000 cookers are out there Well, offsets you can make good. John's out. It'd feel weird if the show went smoothly. There's been no technical issues here tonight, Steve, by the way. So good on me and good on John. Yeah, always. The widget not working is not a technical issue. Don't worry. That took 8 seconds. Last week was a whole technical issue. No doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, I'm not sure how I missed that time frame, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and get ready to head on out. That's right. All the way back in the first hour, we talked with Sam, the cooking guy, Zion. Sam Zion is not tacoing, not bringing thermometers into steak restaurants to help me out. Thanks, Sam, for nothing. He's also going to be at the Bet on Barbecue event at the Del Mar Racetrack. That's hosted by Sean Walchef and Derek Marceau, amongst others. Behind the Smoke podcast. Celebrity judges are going to be there to include Jim Trotter. Sterling Ball will be there competing. Good luck, Sterling, as well as everybody else that'll be out there. Looking for the winner for next week. And then in the second hour, we talked with Kyle Riggen from K-Rigg. K-Rigg, RIGG.com. Check it out if you're in the market for a new cooker that has new forethought technology and all that stuff. Might be something you might want to take a look at. Plus $1,000 off now. $1,000 off. $3,000. I don't know if that includes shipping or not. Steve D weighing in. I vote put the show back into one long podcast if you're still taking votes. I'm not taking votes, and I'm not doing that. It's 2. Peace it out, Steve. I know you can do it. So, again, if you're interested, check out Kyle's cooker, K-Rigg, K-Rigg, RIGG, K-Rigg.com. It will be in the show notes, of course. Huge show planned already next week. Very excited. Stephen Reichland, among others. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, first saying...
Start the game! Let's go!
And secondly, saying good night now.